citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel once again, and welcome back to System Shock Radio. So, not gonna lie, right off the bat, actually a couple things. First of all, the Jared Fogle crime analysis will be coming out on Monday, but tomorrow I'm going to be uploading like a compilation video talking about, more so, it's gonna be all my reviews of all the wrestling events, all three wrestling events that took place during Memorial Day weekend, minus of course TNA No Surrender, or the three that I watched, which is Night of Champions, AEW Double or Nothing this year, and NXT Battleground. So if you missed any of those reviews or just want to see them again and in like a put together condensed format, then that will be available for you to watch for your viewing pleasure. But so that's gonna be releasing tomorrow. The crime analysis is gonna be coming out on Monday, and definitely putting a lot of work into it, not just in terms of research, but also I'm gonna actually watch the documentary for it, which honestly I probably should be doing anyway for the crime analysis. But so Monday the crime analysis will officially be returning with Mr. Jared Fogle, and it's a very interesting, but also kind of dark, sad story. But the other thing that I have to talk about, and this in terms of this episode, is, not gonna lie, right off the bat, we have a lot to talk about. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Enough dilly-dallying, let's get right into it. Starting with the first thing, which is that CM Punk is going to be officially returning at AEW Collision. That's right. It was officially announced by Tony Khan on this past Wednesday on Dynamite, actually, that CM Punk will be returning at AEW Collision. It's going to take place in Chicago, so not the first time that CM Punk has returned in Chicago. Honestly, this is something we kind of saw coming anyway. It was kind of leaked by, the reporters in the dirt sheets and everything. But seeing CM Punk back in the fold in AEW is going to be pretty cool. Apparently he's going to be a central focus when it comes to AEW Collision, and Ace Steel, who was also brought back into the company. He kind of surprisingly, considering what happened at All Out, he and CM Punk are apparently going to be in charge of creative and kind of running the show when it comes to Collision, and so that's going to be pretty interesting to see. So CM Punk will officially be returning at the first ever AEW Collision show. So welcome back, CM Punk, and happy to have you back and everything. And I can't wait to see what happens with CM Punk from there, to see what type of storylines he's going to be involved in. They're apparently already trying to concoct some storylines. Apparently he's supposed to be having one with Chris Jericho, but we will see, obviously, when the time comes. But the next thing I want to talk about is we got a lot of stuff revealed for AEW Fight Forever. Now, when I talked briefly about Fight Forever and talked about how to kind of just in terms of like wrestling video games, kind of mentioning it, this was before we got a lot of reveals, but a lot of stuff has been revealed on social media and everything, which I kind of knew would happen like as we got closer to release date. Of course, AEW Fight Forever is going to be releasing later on this month, and a lot of stuff has been revealed. We got a lot of the members of the roster. We got some DLC. We even got who's going to be the pre-order bonus, and some interesting stuff. Some stuff we kind of already knew because a lot of these wrestlers are on the roster, but we got a lot of names that have been revealed, and so far 55 names have been confirmed so far, and this is just at the time of recording, which is on June 2nd, and I'm actually, of course, recording this the night before, so this is just the roster at the time of this recording, and so more names may be added, and of course more names could always be added later on through DLC. Apparently, and this was, I think it was Evil Uno who said this, that the goal is not to make a sequel, but to keep releasing content for this game and kind of giving the idea that you can fight forever, which I think is actually a very smart move. That way they don't have to wait till the sequel to release more characters, and they can keep this game going and keep adding to this game. So that I think is a pretty nice move on their part, and So far, 55 names, which may not seem like a lot, but a couple things. Like I said, more names could be added. But also, I think having a smaller roster might not be such a bad thing, at least not here. That way, a lot more focus can go towards the gameplay as opposed to the actual amount of people on the roster. And honestly, with like the WWE games, they have a lot of the big rosters and everything. But how many of those people do you actually play as on a regular basis? For me, it's not really a lot. But without further ado, let's get right into the roster. And I also do, like I said, I do like that the kind of idea that they keep adding characters. It's not like the WWE games where you have to wait until next year, where they'll add DLC, but if your favorite superstar didn't make the cut even for the DLC, you have to wait. And then obviously back in the old days of like the PlayStation 2 and stuff, if your favorite superstar didn't make the cut, then they just straight up didn't make the cut. But continuing to add characters, I think, is a pretty smart strategy. But without further ado, I've stalled long enough. Let's get right into the roster. So we have Abaddon, Adam Cole, Bebe, Hangman Adam Page, Andrade El Idolo, Aubrey Edwards, who's actually going to be an unlockable character, which is kind of cool, kind of goofy that Aubrey Edwards, the referee, is going to be an unlockable character. Then we have the Machine, Brian Cage, Mr. Brody Lee. Then we have Bryan Danielson and Cash Wheeler, who's going to be DLC. Chris Jericho, the Ocho, of course. Chuck Taylor, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes. It's crazy. He's going to be in 2 wrestling video games in the same year. Although Cody, he was there for a while. Well, even when he was still in AEW, you gotta remember, this game has been in development for a little while. And of course, AEW has WWE's blessing for Cody Rhodes to still be in the game, so he's gonna be there. Then we have Danhausen as DLC, Darby Allin, Dax Harwood as DLC, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, Dustin Rhodes, who's the natural, Eddie Kingston, Hikaru Shida, Hook as DLC, Jay Cargill, Jeff Hardy, which is interesting that Jeff Hardy is apparently part of the base roster when you consider a DLC / pre-order bonus that we're going to get into. We got John Silver, John Moxley, Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, Keith Lee as DLC, Kenny Omega, Chris Statlander, Lance Archer, Luchasaurus, Malachi Black, Matt Hardy, both regular and broken, who's actually going to be the pre-order bonus. It's weird that Matt is the pre-order bonus in both the regular and the broken version. Meanwhile, Jeff Hardy is part of the base roster. I think that was kind of a weird choice. So I'm surprised both the Hardys weren't pre-order bonuses, even though Matt's been there longer than Jeff. But it is what it is, I guess. But then we got Matt Jackson, Miro, MJF, of course, Nick Jackson, Nyla Rose, Orange Cassidy, Owen Hart, Pac, Paul White, Pentagon. We got Ray Phoenix. We got Ricky Starks. Absolute Ricky Starks, of course. We got Riho. We got Ruby Soho. We got Sammy Guevara, Scorpio Sky, Sting, the Bunny. He has DLC. Make sure I didn't miss anybody who was DLC. But we got Thunder Rosa. We got Wardlow, and we got Yuka Sakazaki. Sorry if I mispronounced that. So, pretty decent roster to start off with, both in terms of DLC and the base roster. A lot of people that you kind of expected to be on there, because a lot of these people have been there since the beginning, and a lot of them kind of in like their old attires from like year 1 / year 2 of AEW. But it's also interesting to see a lot more kind of recent names make their way here, such as like Jeff Hardy or CM Punk or Adam Cole or Bryan Danielson. But now that the roster's out of the way, looking at like some of the photos and everything, seeing some of the photos, which I'll actually show you guys in just a second. Yeah, so you can see here some of the images that are kind of seeing some of the graphics and everything, how the game looks. And then he got this here. This game gonna have a bunch of like mini games and stuff, which is actually kind of cool. Then here's an image here, which this is one of like the earliest images I can remember. Of course, Hangman Page slamming John Moxley onto the ladder, and then you see images like this with Jungle Boy and Darby Allin, and then you see like MJF here, see Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho. So something of note when it comes to this game, and kind of going for more of like that arcadey kind of feel, like the older wrestling games, like SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, or like the old SmackDown game, stuff like that. Not, and I think I mentioned this when I talked about like wrestling video games, and mentioned AEW Fight Forever. Not really going for like the simulation style, which I think kind of pays off, because like I mentioned, some people were kind of getting sick of like the simulation style. So this game not taking itself too seriously, having a lot of goofy stuff. You got mini games kind of like this one, and seeing other mini games such as the one in the arena, and then even one involving like a skateboard race. Is of course Darby Allin loving skateboards and everything, and so seeing some stuff like this is really cool to see. And then you can see in this image, you see stuff like the thumbtacks there, you see the kendo stick, you see the baseball bat, you see the trash can, you see the blood and how the blood physics look. So really cool, and you even see here how like both Orange Cassidy here and Chris Jericho are kind of covered in the blood, and this was actually pretty cool that they did during Double or Nothing, where they simulated the four-way match, as of course the Four Pillars match, which I talked about when I reviewed Double or Nothing 2023. So if you haven't already, either go check that out in the video already, or wait till the compilation video drops tomorrow. But seeing all the stuff they're doing for the game is honestly really cool. Well, honestly, I'm excited for this game. I've been seeing how some of the character models looked, like Eddie Kingston here, which at first, I forgot which image it was, Eddie Kingston, and that had me scared, like, oh man, they butchered him. But seeing how he looks here, and you see like Darby Allin and Jon Moxley, so I'm definitely excited for this game. This game definitely looks promising right off the bat. So yeah, pretty promising stuff, and pretty cool stuff of all things told. I'm really excited to see where the game goes and everything. But the next thing I want to talk about, moving away from AEW here, heading towards WWE. Let's see how things are Let's see what's going on the other side, starting with a new WWE Universal Championship design, which was actually introduced tonight on SmackDown. And not gonna lie, I kind of have mixed feelings towards it, and I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like. So this is one of the images of the championship, and like from this image, it already kind of looked weird, honestly. But this is a better angle, but I want to show you both for the championship. Let me go back to the image so I can kind of show you what's going on. Or actually, I could probably go right to the Roman photo. So as you see, the championship has the black strap on it, and it's still got like the side plates. It's pretty much the same as like the other WWE Championships designs, which it didn't really surprise me that it looked pretty much identical to the other ones. But this part, I think, is what's throwing me off. Kind of the gold background, instead of the solid color, or kind of like the other Universal Championship design we have right here, or like this WWE Championship design here, having a gold background to differentiate it from the black strap. And I kind of mentioned this as well, like the World Heavyweight Championship that they have. Something about it, I think, kind of. Now, this is a better angle than the one I showed you guys. This one right here, but something about it, I'm not like the. It's tricky. Like honestly, it could have been worse, but something about it, I think, kind of throws it off a little bit. And then here's perhaps an even better version of it, the replica one, which they already have on WWE Shop. Between like this and when they introduced the new WWE World Heavyweight Championship design, they are quick when it comes to uploading it to the WWE Shop. Although I imagine they probably gave the design first to the WWE Shop and then get that ready, and then once they unveiled it, and once the unveiling happens, then you put it up for sale on WWE Shop. So we'll head to WWE Shop, and if you who act in the next 47 minutes and 56 seconds and counting. You get free shipping on orders over $29, although you're probably saying it day after, so sorry. But yeah, so seeing it here, seeing like the black strap and this gold piece, he's everything else is pretty much the same, which I think works. But this gold background, I think it's one of those things I kind of have to warm up to. I feel like, if they chose like a different color, I think it probably, I don't know, just kind of throwing up. Of like, if this back part was like silver, I think it would probably work a little bit better. But it'll probably take some getting used to. But otherwise, it's not that bad looking. And honestly, the more I look at it, it's really not that bad. I do like how this part is black though, to kind of try to take the edge off a little bit. And then this swoosh is red here. I do wish that this swoosh was blue though, because this is supposed to be like a SmackDown title. Well, and the Universal Championship was the blue design, but I guess not really. He interested in that. But yes, that is the new Universal Championship design. So yeah, that is the new design for the Universal Championship. And of course, the other big thing we have to talk about that happened in the segment is Solo Sikoa has officially aligned himself with the Bloodline, which I kind of figured would happen, of course, after the events of what happened at Night of Champions. But Solo has aligned himself with Roman Reigns. And looks like they'll be fighting the Usos later on down the line. Which most likely at the next thing we're actually going to talk about, which is Money in the Bank this year, or both the events and the Money in the Bank match. Money in the Bank this year is actually going to take place in the O2 Arena, if I'm not mistaken, in London, England. And so, heading to the UK. It worked really well for them last time in Clash at the Castle. Also, so I guess gonna be heading there again, and I guess the card's starting to take shape already. He like I mentioned, the aforementioned Roman Reigns and Solo versus the Usos match will likely take place there, and then obviously Roman probably defending the Universal Championship at SummerSlam, and so we'll have to see what happens there. But I also wanted to talk about the Money in the Bank ladder match. The Money in the Bank ladder match, definitely an exciting match, definitely one of my favorite matches, and also just ladder matches in general. I always maintain that you have to actively try, and I firmly believe this, and this is a hill I will die on, but you have to actively try to ruin a ladder match. How do you make a ladder match work? Or just turn it into a human demolition derby, which is how they describe a ladder match. Really turn it into a human demolition derby. This is the time where you go crazy with spots and excitement and action, and people are definitely there for it. Just make it exciting, and don't make the ladder match boring. Although WWE has tried before, and they've kind of succeeded at points, but otherwise the ladder match shouldn't be that hard to mess up. Just put all kinds of crazy stuff in there, and it will work out. But as for who do I think is going to win this year, for the women, and honestly, it might be Io Sky, or possibly even someone else. But I think Io Sky is like a major choice, especially with her kind of getting a taste of like the women's world championship scene when she faced Bianca Belair at Backlash. So Io Sky, I think, will win, and I think a lot of people would be happy with her winning it. But as for the men's, LA Knight for sure. Like LA Knight is definitely over right now, like crazy, to the point where he even gets Montez Ford booed. Apparently, I didn't watch SmackDown because I was actually out and about, doing other stuff, but apparently Montez Ford even got booed. That's how over LA Knight is, to the point where they even had to pipe in crowd boos, which that's always messed up. Like, hey, I know LA Knight's supposed to be heel, he's supposed to get booed and everything, but he's earned those cheers. He's over like crazy. He's got a lot of charisma. He's talented in the ring. Let him have the cheers, you know. But LA Knight winning it probably hold on to it for a little bit. at least till the title was off Roman, and then definitely have LA Knight cash it in maybe sometime down the line. Like if LA Knight, if like Cody Rhodes, if Cody Rhodes does indeed face Roman and take the title off him, which probably still could happen, but if Cody Rhodes does take the title off of Roman and LA Knight cashes in on Cody Rhodes and is the one to defeat him for the title, I don't think that many people would be mad at it. I think with LA Knight being as over as he is, I think people would forgive it, and people wouldn't be that upset with LA Knight winning Money in the Bank and winning the World Championship. But do not do what you did with Austin Theory last year, where you had him cash in on a mid-card title and still lose. Like, it's one thing to cash in on a mid-card title in the Money in the Bank, even though the Money in the Bank should really be for the World Championship. But I guess need a little bit of trivia that Eric to kind of, because I guess that was kind of a question in a lot of people's mind, and kind of myself included, like, hey, can you cash in on mid-card titles? Apparently you can, but with Austin Theory cashing in, like he looked ridiculous. He looked really goofy. And then the kicker is he ended up winning the United States Championship anyway later on down the line at Survivor Series, if I'm not mistaken. And so it was kind of pointless. Like, why did you waste the Money in the Bank? And I think the thing with Theory is that Roman was nowhere near losing the title just yet, but they had to do something with Austin Theory as Mr. Money in the Bank. Which maybe, just maybe, and hear me out here, maybe the title should have stayed separated. I don't know, but yeah. So definitely don't do with LA Knight what you did with Austin Theory. Let LA Knight have a successful cash in. And ladies, women of WWE, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret here when it comes to the Money in the Bank. You know you don't have to cash it in on the same night, right? You know you can hold on to it for a little bit. I think literally the only female superstar who won Miss Money in the Bank and actually held on to it for a while, kinda, because they did the match and then did the do-over on SmackDown, was Carmella. And she actually, I think she held it for like almost a year, but for almost like the entire year. But yeah, you can wait a little bit. You don't have to cash it in the same night. But then again, the women have a 100% cash in rate where every time they cash in, they don't lose the match and they actually win the title. So, hey, what do I know? But yeah. So I think just who's gonna be in the Money in the Bank ladder match this year, and then who will actually win it, I think will both be interesting. But yeah, so Io Sky and LA Knight, hey, are my predictions. Yeah, I can't do it like he does it, but nevertheless, the next thing I want to talk about is Street Fighter 6, which actually releases, I believe, tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, or I think did it release today? I think it released today. It actually released back in April. Oop, never mind. Yeah, so I actually don't have Street Fighter 6 yet. I probably will get it at some point, especially because it is for PS4. But seeing a lot of the stuff for rates, wow. Some pretty interesting stuff, like seeing a lot of the animations and the characters and everything. Seeing a lot of the returning fighters, such as like Ryu and Dhalsim and characters like that, is pretty cool to see and pretty interesting to see. And a lot of the graphics do look really sick. And the fact that it's kind of like a free roam story mode, and you can even do stuff like be a freaking helicopter or like helicopter kick and everything. I think is pretty cool. Well, I definitely do want it at some point. In between Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, and Mortal Kombat 1, and this is a good year for fighting games, and honestly a good year for video games in general. But it's about to get a whole lot better later down the line, because the next game we're going to talk about here on System Shock Radio is Spider-Man 2. Ooh, baby! Like the first Spider-Man game was already very fantastic, which I have to finish on stream at some point. I definitely will, though. But the first Spider-Man game was fantastic. Actually, we released on my birthday in 2018. But the second game Ooh boy, the second game and all the reveals and stuff they did for the second game. The fact that you can play as both Peter Parker and Miles Morales, the symbiote suit, who looks fantastic, and a lot of the powers you can do with that. And the fact that the map is going to be bigger, and of course, Kraven the Hunter and the Lizard Baby. Oh yeah, sign me up. Ooh, it looks so good. Like a lot of the images and stuff for Spider-Man 2 and everything, which I'm tempted to show you, but I think I've already shown you enough. What the heck. Yeah, so look at all this good stuff. They got stuff like the Iron Spider suit there. There's Peter and Miles. There's an image of Miles there. We see some of the symbiote suits, and it's gonna have the web wings, which is pretty cool. Looking at the symbiote suit here is really awesome as well. Sorry, this version of Spider-Man 2, you were awesome, but I think you're about to be outdone. But seeing like the symbiote suit, ooh, look at that. Oh, that's good looking. Oh, that is good stuff. We have Venom here. So Venom is gonna be another villain. So like 3 villains as well, which is pretty cool. I want to look at the symbiote suit for Spider-Man 2. I think that's just a mod for the first Spider-Man game. Symbiote suit abilities. So you can see some of the abilities here. It's not really showing. Oh, there's one. On being able to like grab different people and stuff, things of that nature. I'm excited. Like, it looks really fantastic. Oh, it looks so good. I don't have a PS5 yet, but I definitely want one. And I already kind of wanted one, mostly because it's the latest, and a lot of the games are now going to be made for PS5 anyway. But now I especially want it for that. Look at that. That is a thing of beauty. Like I am so excited. I was already excited, but I am even more excited. But I remember people complaining in the first Spider-Man game that the symbiote suit wasn't an unlockable suit. But I can tell that they definitely had big plans, and it's cool that the symbiote suit is going to be the main focus for the next Spider-Man game. And Insomniac, like, they definitely, you can tell they're definitely fans of like the Spider-Man IP and wanted to do it justice, and I think they're definitely going to do it justice just off images like this alone. But to see all the plans and stuff they have obviously for stuff like the symbiote suit, which was kind of teased at in the first game, him at the end and everything with Harry in the water tank. Sorry for the spoilers, but Harry in the tank and everything, and the symbiote touching the glass, I think was a nice touch. But yeah, you can tell they definitely have major plans when it comes to the suit. But yeah, exciting stuff. Ooh, I cannot wait. But the final thing I want to talk about here on System Shock Radio is having a giving heart. And not gonna lie, having a giving heart can be tough sometimes. On one hand, and you want to help people as much as possible. You want to go above and beyond for people as much as possible, whether people deserve it or not, because it feels like it's the right thing to do. Trust me, I've been there. I try to be a nice person as much as I can, try to help people when I can, but there's a couple things to keep in mind when it comes to having a giving heart. For starters, like I mentioned, not everybody deserves it, and not everybody is going to be appreciative of it. To that I say, for those who appreciate it, and show your appreciation for them. But to those who don't, you don't have to help them. Sadly, you can't help everyone, even when you want to. But for some people who try to tear you down and try to take advantage of you, you wipe your hands clean of them and say, you know what, I've done all I can, but this person's trying to take advantage of me. I don't like that, and so I'm not going to put up with that anymore. And you don't have to. You have the right not to. It's your life. Help as many people. By all means, help people. Helping people is always a great thing, and well, it depends on what you're helping them with. But helping people is usually a very great thing. But some people genuinely don't deserve it. But also, if you're not able to help people, that's fine. Don't let someone feel guilty because you're not like physically capable of helping them. And honestly, don't let people make you feel guilty because you don't want to help people in some instances. Sometimes you're just not feeling it. But oftentimes, you don't have the means, you don't have the proper tools to help someone the way that they may necessarily need it. That's okay. Hey, it's a part of life. If you're not always going to have the answers and you're not always going to be able to help people to the fullest of what they need, that's okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. Help people when and if you can and within your means, and good will come back to you. Karma works in mysterious ways. Do good unto others and good will come back to you, of course. And don't worry about how it's what they're going to use it for or what they're going to do with it. What they do with it is up to them. For example, like giving money to people homeless and on the street. I know some people are apprehensive about it because what if they use that money for drugs? Yeah, understandable. They might. There's a very good chance that they will, but that's not why you're doing it. You're not doing it to help them get drugs. You're doing it because it seems like the right thing to do. So, doing good things with good intentions will cause good to come back to you. What they do with your kindness is on them, and now the ball's in their court. But what you do with your kindness is what you do with your kindness is. But don't let people take advantage of you. You can help people. You can be there for people, and not be taken advantage of. And use discernment. Be wise about how you're helping people, and when they're genuinely appreciative of it versus when they're taking advantage of you. Know the difference and act accordingly. Is how I look at it. Like, you can be kind, you can be nice, you can have a kind, caring, giving heart, but don't be a pushover. Or never be a pushover, never be a doormat. If they're not appreciative of you, that's on them. And like I said, wipe your hands clean. Sorry, I smacked the mic. Wipe your hands clean. Move on. But nevertheless, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. Turn on post notifications so you know every time I upload a video so you can see as soon as it drops. Let me know in the comments below your reaction to anything I talked about in this video. I know this was kind of a long one, but thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Peace.